Katie. How you doing?
Tuesday, July 22nd, 2025. Welcome to this episode of the Please Subscribe Show.
You know what? My best friend does in English. You work for Chipotle. It's a very good thing. You know what? Oh yes, there's something going on there. Come on, Grandma. My legs are out the longest. Let's go. What is your point of doing that? You have 13 red and white stripes and 50 stars. What do you have to prove in your point?
How many? 13.
Red and white stripes, 50 stars.
But there's going to be 51 because of Canada.
Okay.
Stop by for a snack McDonald's. McDonald's. McDonald's chicken sandwich. Take a bite of it here. Ooh.
Hello, Jackson. Good afternoon. Are you one of the managers?
Yes, I am.
Awesome. Nothing bad. My name is Linda. I'm new to the area, and I do have bakery and deli experience. I'm wondering at the moment, are you hiring at the time or just taking applications? Because I used to be a manager.
Taking applications.
Just taking applications?
Yeah. The general manager will be back tomorrow.
Oh, okay. So you're Jackson. What's the general manager's name, please?
Her name is Noha.
No.
N-O-H-A.
Oh, okay. All right. Thank you for your time. Thank you for being honest. Thank you.
So her name is No High. Is His name is No High. No High for you. They're protesting for Bel Air Drive and South Hewlin Street, Fort Worth, Texas. Watch something about a fascist. That boy don't act right. So they're already protesting. Yeah, they do it. Well, they don't do it in every president. Not everyone. I don't think they did with Bush. Not that I know of.
Hi there. I think I spoke to you a while back, but I had to go take care of my deceased mother at the time. Are you still hiring at the moment? I'm sorry? I'm sorry, what was that answer? I can't understand you. I have to call you back. That's not true. Yeah?
Doors. How can I help you?
Your doors?
Yes, doors.
Oh, cool. All right. I'm just wondering, I'm passing down the street right now, and we're just out and driving and stuff. And the weird thing is, I got hired at Potbelly in Carrollton about 4 months ago, and the manager got fired. So I did all the paperwork and everything. I'm just wondering, are you hiring at the moment?
Yes, we are.
Really?
Yes, ma'am.
Really?
Let me talk. Let you talk. I'm the team lead. I'm not the hiring manager, but
Oh,
let
okay.
me get a hold of Jose for you, real quick.
Oh, Jose? Okay, I spoke to him a few times. All right, cool. I said, all right, cool. I can give you a time. Cool. You just passed your store. All right, cool. All right, Jose, all right. See.
I'm about to go on vacation this week, so if I would talk to you, it would be like, well, after the court. But I also would have to ask, I think it's Terry or Camera, about if you're rehireable.
Of course I'm rehireable. I did my paperwork and the manager quit in Plano, Texas. What?
You talking about Pam? What's the manager name?
I don't know. It was a dude, and then I had his personal phone number saved. He said, well, sorry, shit happened. Excuse my language, but that's what he said. It was over there off, like, Preston Road.
Okay. Like I said, I would have to speak to the district manager over there.
Correct. Yeah, that's what you...
Please press 1 for catering. Please press 2.
Most places are at $2.99 per gallon. Right now it's $2.47 at the Walmart. You have to wait in line for a little bit. Sometimes you do, sometimes you don't. We'll find out. You also get a hot dog here for $1.50. There's one right here. It's a cool car. It's pretty neat. before we go forward, enjoy my hot dog somewhere else because this place is completely crowded. Alright, French mustard. One strip of that. A little dab will do. Don't forget a relish. There's no napkins served, but they have napkins in there. I just didn't grab any. Alright. Wheat from the chafe. It's a pretty good hot dog. Catholic Church right there. I don't know if all of them are. I don't think they all would be. They're known as chaplains. Probably different denominations. I get a quarter for returning these. Let's go. This is a major crosswalk right here that goes to the Hyatt Regency, connecting the terminals right there on Terminal C. Grand Hyatt. Looks like we got a package or this time. We'll just take it to Terminal C. I mean, luggage, I got a luggage piece, so I believe it's right down this way. Sometimes a roadie doesn't find the pin GPS location and says you're not there, so I'm trying to drive closer to the area, I guess, to find the pin location. Probably go to the parking garage area. Finally noticed my GPS location at Terminal E, but in the parking garage way over here. So I have to go to the middle section, basically like E15, and pick it up. So that's what I'm doing right now. All right, here, community, all right there. I moved over to Terminal E. It's all right here. That's where the pickup point is, E16 or E15 for the luggage. All right, there it is. The luggage services, baggage service. Like part of the bag was actually damaged. They taped it. They were looking for a replacement bag. They couldn't get one, so yeah, it's kind of where they do it right there. Tape it. It's been opened. Oh well. Looks like we got it. Alright, this luggage drop off is for $14 and I'm going 26 miles. So that's why I don't like roadie. Let's start. Mule Alley and Stockyards. So far it's been 2 hours and I made 15 bucks. Well, in the 2 quarters. Forgot about the 2 quarters. That's 2 quarters. Omnidirectional radar. Radioactive, well, it's radio waves. Same thing as any radio waves. Omnidirectional radio, high frequency radio. Range. Yeah, it's omnidirectional, a high frequency omnidirectional radio range or something like that. Omnidirectional, as I know, is in it. High frequency. HOR or something like that. They're all the way from California. Imagine that. Excuse me, sorry about that.
Very sorry about that.
Oh, no, it's not your fault. Is this like a luggage drop-off point, or is it over there at that desk? Oh, thanks so much. They had me leave it at the front desk, but they were arriving at that time, and I had to pay $10 to get out of the airport to drop off an order that they're only paying me $14 for, and I had to wait, and the gas, and I showed them the mileage, and I showed him the app on what they're asking for and everything. And I was basically telling him, I'm not getting paid for this, really. It's like, I went 22 miles and everything, and then he asked me, what can I do? Basically, and I told him, it's not for free. So he offered a little amount that it's not anything major, but he understood that without any possible tip that I would have done it for free. And some of them will be like, well, they blame the airport, but we don't work for the airline. We don't work for Delta. So they, that they want their luggage and everything, but if you don't let them know, then they won't pay you you won't get paid anything. That's the type of business it is, I guess, or that's how Rhodey sees it. I don't know if it's a hidden message, but you have to tell the truth, and as long as you do screenshots and everything, he was trying to just get the luggage and just walk off, but I was like, well, I won't get paid but anything but $4 for going 22 miles and have to pay $10 to get out. I actually paid the airport to get your luggage out of here, and I showed him the screenshot of the terminal thing. So he did compensate me, for a fair amount, I think. At least a halfway fair amount. Thank goodness. He wasn't like the nicest guy in the world, but what his actions were nicer than his tone of voice, but he wasn't like mean or anything. He just was like, well, what's the deal? You have to show him everything, because I think they should have paid maybe, I don't know, $30 or $40 just for that delivery alone. Not $14. $14 and change, So he compensated that. So I do appreciate it. The lesson in that is basically, if you don't ask, you don't receive. So you have to at least inform them the situation that they put you in, and then you have to, ask. You just basically say, does that sound like fair compensation? Does that sound like a fair transaction? Other than if I, did it for zero cost, I wouldn't be able to do it at all. That's what you're letting them know. I wouldn't be able to get your luggage at the airport for free. Wouldn't be able to pick it up because I can show you that it costs money to be at the airport. So I don't know. They're kind of upset because their luggage got left behind, but they don't use the airlines to get it. They use a third party, of course. They know that. And it's kind of like a cab ride almost. Only, the cabbie's like, oh, don't worry about it, which cabbie could do that every once in a while, but ultimately, let's go to filmmaker right here, but he's in the middle of the road, in the middle of traffic. He's doing a 360 shot, but he's right there next to the walking across, I guess, to get it. Probably for Google, maybe. Yeah, they'd be able to use that because it's right here, or maybe the photographer. Yeah, he could be an amateur photographer for the for his phone, because there are people that do photography on the phone only. And it looks like he was doing a 360 shot, which is very difficult to do with film, if not impossible. With digital, you can do it. You can do that. So that's what he was doing. Okay. This snack break is brought to you by Fatty Original. 13 grams of protein, 1 gram of sugar. It's really good if you're on a diet, you're cutting back on sugar and trying to get some protein. A little 13 gram protein snack. Gluten-free. Looks like Whataburger. We're going to be there at 4.2 miles. Arrival 10:24, about a 7-minute trip. All right, looks like another Whataburger. It's one on Rufe Snow. There's a little UFO right there, see it? Be there at 4.1 miles, 10 minutes, 11:06. This is the Whataburger that I wrote Diane Salinger when I wrote the monologue Chicken Punk for her, which still would probably make a pretty good movie, but she was Simone in Pee-wee's Big Adventure. She was my acting coach in Hollywood. This is the Whataburger that I drove up to with my friends, Caleb, Chris Jenkins, Lori was in the car, Jody, Angela, Westbrook Johnson, and these hicks were throwing beer bottles inside our car. And the cops arrested them right there on that road there, because I think they had methamphetamine in the car. They were pretty crazy. I didn't want to fight them. Chris and Caleb and all of them wanted to fight, but it probably would have ended in death. So we had to go for the cops to intervene. Probably set a pretty good example for some of those people, and they're probably all still alive too. I don't know if the meth heads got out or not. They were the ones that set fire to the garage, trying to do something in their garage. Most likely cook meth. A long time ago. This is like in the 90s. But I wrote the little monologue. It was about a 2 or 3 minute monologue. Happened right there. My Cavalier, 1986 or 87 red Cavalier was right there. I was walking this way. Chris Jenkins was walking this way. The redneck weirdos were in the pickup truck. This is like probably 1989 maybe. And I had jet black hair. Chris Jenkins looked like Billy Idol. Westbrook Johnson had the spiked up Corey Haim hair from that movie he did where they switched places with Corey Feldman, or they switched places with the old man, Dream, a little dream. And then that's where they brought us out down this way to fight, and they were driving by my car throwing beer bottles inside the window, hitting Westbrook Johnson in the head. Then as we came back around here, I pulled up here, went inside. There was a cop ordering a Whataburger. I told him what was going on. He came out, called his buddy. The truck took off because they didn't want to face the cop. They didn't know he was in there. They went around the neighborhood to try to escape and came back here. They got him right there. And that's where they arrested him. So it ended in an arrest rather than a fight. I'm still here. I had it on her foot though. It's okay though. Whataburger looked way different. It was deeper this way, and the chair or the tables went like this. They didn't have the small tables. I think the cop was like right over there. I asked him. I said, "Hey, these guys were throwing beer bottles in their car. Can you help us out?" And that's when they got him eventually. We were sitting around here. We were a bunch of punks eating like French fries and stuff before we went out to face the rednecks over that way. I just met a guy named Mike in there. I talked to him about the whole incident with the ropers, the rednecks that tried to kill us, and back in '89, told him about Deep on Ellum, the movie I did, and I told him about the Criterion Collection channel. So I was like, hey, check out the Criterion Collection, and I sold my YouTube channel to him. Well, I didn't sell it to him. I just told him about it, and maybe if possible another subscriber. But if we get it taken off, this Whataburger I would use in Deep on Ellum, by the film Deep on Ellum that I wrote, based on the monologue Chicken Punk that I tried to sell to Simone from Pee-wee's Big Adventure. I gotta go though, because I drop off some Whataburger. It does look very similar to the event in 1989 that happened with Chris Jenkins, Caleb, is my friend Westbrook, Angela, Lori, and Jody. They were all stuffed in the car of a Cavalier, probably 1985 Cavalier. It happened in 1989 right here, but it was a fight that broke. There's Mike. That's the guy I was talking to, not the guy on the bike, the other guy. But this would be, I would use this location if I could. I definitely would. It's almost the same as back in 1989. So there's a little bit difference, so we can mask some things, but everything here is still exactly the same. I don't really would have to mask really anything. The Long John Silver's could even be used, although it wasn't there, I don't think then, but it might have been. I don't recall. I gotta go. He probably thinks I'm a complete nut, but of course I'm a nut. You know, I'm interested in filmmaking and stuff. You have to be a nut. It's required. But I told him about the Criterion channel. I said, hey, check out YouTube right now. Matthew Broderick is giving off his Criterion Closet picks. Surf the Criterion channel, give it a try. You know, I think it's great. It's the best thing I've ever purchased when it comes to entertainment. And you can see he mentioned he liked those old Bogart movies. That's on there. Charlie Chaplin. I said you got to see Joan of Arc. It's a silent movie. And I went through my whole film spiel because Joan of Arc is a must for silent movies. And he said, yeah, man, I'll definitely check it out. He wrote it down, and then I sold my channel to him in that order. So you want to sell other people's stuff and then get to your stuff later, because the Criterion channel, it's an actor's like extra dough, that's how they get a little extra money and stuff, because they sell their own stuff as well as selling other people's movies, and then you just talk about movies. Plus Quentin Tarantino, that's all he does when he's directing anyway, so it all fits into directing and filmmaking and all that stuff. But Deep on Ellum is the script I wrote. If you want to buy it, you can do a private read with me. When it gets more popular, I can send you the script for a small amount of money, and you'll be able to do a reading of the script if you'd like. But I do not give that out for free. My uncle has a rough copy of it that I wrote this thing probably about maybe 6 years ago. Probably need some touch-ups and stuff, but it's probably a script. It's probably a movie. So I'm just looking for funding. I've been waiting. In the Haltom area, this is where my other novella, it's called Catnappers, about the young boys, and set here. Oh, that's a film. That's right. Very important. Very important. Okay, so the current novel I'm working on, which is Rib, I'm on chapter 80. Just started today. The whole thing with Craig and Daniel Lucius Kopex, and Craig being drowned by him, the failed baptism, took place here It's all fiction, but you can hear the water running. That's the Fossil Creek. The water runs through there. And there was a time where it did flood, and my friend and I, friend's name is Scrow, he also goes by Sean, we did go inner tubing down that river. It did happen. There was a truck that pulled up on us right here when we were younger. I was wearing a trench coat, and everyone else took off running, even my stepdad. We were all just playing around in the woods, walking down this road, and I stood there until the truck went away. We played Borderlands way out there, live action Dungeons and Dragons way out there. It's in, some of it's hinted to in Rib. I forget the chapter. It's a chapter with Craig, and when Craig is drowned by the failed baptism, he's drowned by Daniel Lucius Copex, who later becomes a serial killer out of New York. So he lived out here, I guess, before he went to New York and became a cop. Then he comes back here and begins to kill migrants. It's a current novel that I'm working on right now. It may be one that I bind, you know, that I actually spend money on for the publication. It's kind of a mixture of almost a lot of different things, even Silence of the Lambs and a bunch of other novels, and it's also kind of somewhat fantasy. It's centered around a protagonist. It's called a dwarf, and it's based on the dwarf starts a militia out in Alaska. It's Rib, parentheses, or Dog Night Out, close parentheses, dash, Shepherds of Alaska. Part 2 is called Heel, H-E-E-L. I'm working on it, like, as we speak, kind of in a way. I gotta get back to Precinct Line. Man, this work convoy is annoying. It's going on for quite a bit of time. I don't see them doing anything really. Maybe it's over there. Here we go with today's kitty. There's one kitty, 9 lives, and each life has a number. Numbers 1 through 9. Let's swirl the cat food and pick a cat food. Today's kitty will be having turkey feast and gravy grilled. Now, you get your portion, kitty. But we're also going to feed the outdoor cats. What will kitty be tomorrow? I'll have a little bit more because I love you, kitty. There you go. Enjoy. Now, the outdoor cats. These are lucky kitties. Do at least get this. Thank you for sharing, kitty. You're a very good kitty. Kitties that share live longer. Kitties that don't share, You think she shares? Yeah. Okay, where does that actually money go? Good night. Just some small jalapenos. Just small ones. Bon appetit. Good night.
Bye.